When a person has cancer, it affects everybody that they come in touch with, their family, their friends, the people that they work with, their greater community. It's a very insidious disease.
These people were whole at one point, and they always want to go back to being normal. When you see the frustrations of whether it be somebody that's the head CEO or somebody, a school teacher, be frustrated that they can't remember how to put toothpaste on their toothbrush, or they can't remember their daughter's or son's name or what to do, it's heartbreaking.
The moment you hear cancer, you think of death. And so the first thing you think about is you're just faced with your mortality. It makes you think about what life would be like for your family, for your loved ones without you here.
You look outside and you can very easily see the suffering and the great need on the part of cancer patients for ever better medicines.
When we come up with an innovative drug, clinical trials have shown that this is going to make a difference in somebody's life. Our main mission is to launch that as quickly as possible.
You're not sitting across the table from a patient when they find out they have a cancer that they're going to die from. What we do here is clearly keep that patient at the forefront of our thinking, even if they're not in the room.
I have gastric cancer. I had a tumor in my stomach with some lymph node involvement. And so in November of 2007, I had my stomach removed. I had a gastrectomy. And then I had chemotherapy and radiation, and then did not have any symptoms of cancer from middle of 2008 until December of 2010. The cancer recurred. My journey's been probably not that atypical. You know, lots of struggles, lots of perils, both physical, mental, emotional. My wife was 8.5 months pregnant when we were first diagnosed. So we had to go through a childbirth when I was right after I had my stomach removed, and then basically trying to raise a family through cancer.
7.5 years ago, my daughter Charlie, who was 26 at the time, was diagnosed with stage 4 melanoma. And she died 9.5 months later. Charlie was always doing not just community service, above and beyond that, and was always interested in finding ways to help people. And it was actually she who said to me that when she beat this disease, she was going to do something about it. I needed to do that for her because I knew that's exactly what she would have done if she had lived.
Tug McGraw was an 18-year baseball player for the Mets and the Phillies. He was diagnosed with brain cancer in 2003. He passed away in 2004. He really wanted to leave his legacy behind. Our mission here at the foundation is to improve quality of life for brain cancer patients and their families and their caregivers. I found that nobody could really define quality of life. There was 1,000 explanations for it in the medical field, and it became kind of our journey to really figure that one out.
When I went out like any red-blooded American and started doing searches on gastric cancer and on stomach cancer specifically, on what doctors were researching it, what companies were treating it, et cetera, there was not very much information out there. And most of the information was dated and it was very negative. And so that's what motivated me to start the Gastric Cancer Fund. I mean, as much as it is about the information, it's as much knowing that there are other people out there that are going through the same thing, and that just knowing that other people are out there going through it gives you hope. And says, oh, this person's 3 years out, that I can get 3 years out. I can make it. This person's 5 years out. This person's 20 years out.
I now understand 7 years into this that patients and their families have lots of questions and really no way to get the answers. So I really am kind of the middleman between patients and their families and the pharmaceutical companies.
And so then when Genentech kind of found us and said, we want to help, we want to be a part of this process, this really lines up with what's important to us. I mean, I couldn't tell you how excited the organization was to say, oh my gosh, this world-class organization, Genentech, wants to work with us and wants to be a part of what we're trying to go do and help us along with our mission. I mean, it was humongous. It was huge.
Every new drug that's approved for this disease is one more drug that the physician can use in his arsenal to treat patients.
If you can get them to manage their symptoms of, fatigue, memory loss, things that are going to really help them improve and stay up on their quality of life, depression, then it gives those other researchers and pharma companies that opportunity to come in and bring that closer in.
And that's where a company like Genentech comes in, because it's in their control, ideally, to come up with these drugs. And if they come up with these drugs, again, and if I do the things I can do to make myself last for 3 more years, and they're doing the things they can do to come out with a new drug in 2.5 years, then great, then we've done it.
You start to get this feeling that it's achievable, that we can turn this very, very difficult disease from a death sentence to potentially a chronic. And, can you imagine in the future if we could say we cured it?
Well, there's a lot of people counting on the great science that's emerging, that people will focus on translating that into innovative medicines. And that's what we want to do. That's what everyone comes to work to do. And we're on your side. We're trying really hard to make your life longer and better.